Hello, my name is Lana Awad, and today I will be doing my TED Talk on the issue of torture when dealing with terrorists or terrorism acts. First of all, I would like to start off by stating my stance on the subject. I believe that torture usually should not be used for everyday circumstances. But I think that when dealing with extreme cases where many people's lives are at stake, that torture is the only necessary option in order to save these people. I'm going to start off by giving you all an example. So say you get an anonymous tip or a few anonymous tips from a bunch of different people saying that they personally saw, or even didn't see, but they just suspect of someone planting a bomb in, let's say, Times Square, which is a very public place where thousands of people go every single day. You call in a suspect and you dig into their past a little bit and you see that they've been involved in a numerous amount of hate crimes, violent crimes, terrorist acts, and that they just genuinely have a hate for people. You bring this person in for questioning and they admit to having placed the bomb, but they don't want to give up any information on the whereabouts of the specific bomb because their sole purpose is to murder tens of people. How do you deal with someone like this, knowing that so many people's lives are at stake? This is one of the main reasons why I think that torture should be used, only because there's so many people's lives at stake. You've already used every other outcome possible to deal with someone like this, but they're just not cooperating. They're not wanting to cooperate. So I think the last straw has to be to imply physical harm on them, which is something that's really hard for me to say because I don't like violence. I never resort to violence. But if given the option, I will do what's necessary in order to save so many people. I think that this is a very touchy subject, especially since so many people harbor so many different political and just moral views. Many think that something like this is unethical and immoral and should never be abused in any circumstance. But I really think that in cases like these, the most extreme cases where nothing else is working, and you've already tried every single other possible solution, I think that it's necessary to take action, especially if you're on time constraint. If this bomb is supposed to explode within the next hour, it's impossible for law officials to find it without knowing the exact location of it. While I do understand many people, such as George W. Bush, believe that torture should never be used in any circumstance, I think differently in this specific circumstance. And I think that if put in this situation, people would agree the same with me. Because right now, obviously, we've never been in a situation like this, and most of us will never be in a situation like that. Which is why it's so easy for us to say that, oh, it's immoral, oh, we should never do it. But when you're in that situation, when you have thousands of people's lives at stake in the palm of your hand, many of us would opt to the more violent solution, even though that's not who we are and that's not what we want to do, but it's what's necessary in that specific setting.
Why did you feel so strongly to talk about this subject?
I think that in our day and age, it's important for young people such as us to open their minds and really research and talk about a lot of the different issues that are happening in our world, socially and politically. And I think that, especially for us, since we are the future of our nation, it's crazy as that. It's important for us to really understand all types of situations because we never really know when we're going to be put into something like that, and I think that it's good to be prepared.
Many people watching this video might think that you stand for violence. What do you think about that?
I just want to say I definitely do not stand for violence. A lot of people who haven't really researched this particular subject might think that way. I do understand their opinion because I understand that stance. I agree with that stance. But I think that the only reason why I'm saying torture should be used is the most extreme cases after all other strategy has already been used. Otherwise, if you're just bringing in another suspect terrorist for questioning, definitely torture is out of the table. No. But I think that if they're being uncooperative and many people's lives are at stake, that there's just no way to deal with the situation. Thanks Thanks again for watching, and let me know what you all think.